Good evening, Fernwood. It is your satiric soap opera sap, Neil, and it's time for us to see if there's a weekend cliffhanger on another episode of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. Today we are watching episode 170 from November 26th, 1976. It's a Friday. Who knows what's going to happen, but let's recap yesterday, which began with a one-on-one fashion show between Christine and Kathy in Kathy's new digs. Kathy wasn't loving Christine's choice of a disco-era dress, though Christine thought it looked quite vulgar on Kathy. They spend a few moments swapping dresses behind a screen, after which Kathy makes clear that there's no plan for anesthesia during the childbirth. While Christine demonstrates exactly how Kathy is expected to give birth, Grandpa shows up for a visit and lets us know that he is now a pre-need advisor at a mortuary, and that's his new job. Grandpa hopes to urge Kathy against the plan of giving up the baby to the Adamses, but Kathy is clear that she wants the baby to go there, and Grandpa is willing to sit with Kathy as long as she is happy. Over at the Shumways, HB and Martha plant a bug so that they can find any clue of fraud in the claims that they can reach George out in outer space. Of course, Jack and Jill immediately clue into the fact that there is a recording device and play it off as though some weird event has happened that will keep them from talking about anything. Martha is disappointed that they have no incriminating evidence, but HB is there to comfort her. And then finally, Tom comes home thrilled at the prospect of having a new baby in the family when Mary has to give him the bad news that Kathy is intent on giving her baby-to-be to the Adamses. Though Tom is disappointed, he quickly turns his thoughts to making a baby with Mary, and Mary does not say out loud that she is uncomfortable with the prospect of being pregnant, though Tom excitedly takes Mary to bed. And that's the end of last episode, everyone. That is the recap of Thursday night's episode. Why don't we see what's happening in this Friday episode of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman?
Coming.
Oh, Pat, boy, am I ever glad I found you home. I have something very important to talk to you about.
Oh, well, sit down.
Okay.
Can I get you something with sodium saccharin, a tab, or a fresca?
Oh, no, just your undivided attention.
Backed by a liberated awareness.
Right. Pat, what I want you to do is enlist as a volunteer in the Women for Jeter movement.
The mayor's race, huh?
Yeah. And since your husband is Merle's campaign manager, I knew that you would be interested in working at the grassroots.
Well, yes. I mean, I suppose. I mean, especially since I'm going to quit my job at the hospital.
Oh, are you planning to do that? I didn't know.
Well, Garth put his foot down.
Oh.
In fact, both feet.
Oh, forceful man, your husband.
You have no idea.
Oh, but he's one hell of a campaign manager. And he's going to be in for a lot of the credit if Merle gets elected. Oh, correction, when Merle gets elected.
You're really interested in Merle, aren't you?
Oh, Pat, I'm going to be confidential with you. Two things turn me on, politics and sex. That's in alphabetical order. And with Merle, I have both, or almost. Oh, look, Pat, Merle Jeter is the greatest natural-born politician I've ever laid eyes on. And oh, I just wish he'd lay more than an eye on me. Oh, I was just joking. We have a sensational physical relationship, really. Oh, boy, do we. You do believe me, don't you?
Of course I do. He is such an attractive man.
You bet your sweet patootie he is. Now, about this committee.
Listen, excuse me for just 1 minute. I have got to get some ice. Garth always likes to have ice with his cocktail before
right,
dinner. I'll just be a minute.
Okay. Hey, Pat, what's all this? Oh, boy, it looks like somebody's writing a novel.
Oh, no, nobody. Oh, promise you won't tell.
Oh,
Please.
my lips are sealed, but what's the big secret?
I'm doing the writing.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not.
But what's it about?
Nursing. About nursing and dedication.
And then he came toward her, swollen and dangerous. Patricia.
Oh, it's not what you're thinking. No, the character broke his nose, and it was swollen. And the dangerous part is that if he ran into something, it could break again.
Well, smiling, he plunged into
The ice water that was provided for him. It's the best thing for a swollen part. Nose. It's a nursing guide. Don't you think they'll love it?
I may even know a lot of non-nurses who will love it. Oh, look who's here.
Hey, hello, Wanda.
I was just
How are
adding
you?
to our shopping list.
Hiya, kiddo. How are you?
Let me take that for you, huh?
Thank you, dear.
Okay. Isn't he sweet?
Well, as they say, love makes the world go round.
Oh, don't I know that? Don't I, Pat?
Boy, does she know it.
Oh, listen, Garth. I was just trying to enlist your loving wife in a committee for Merle Jeter, Women for Jeter.
Well, I don't know, Wanda. Taking care of this house is a full-time job in itself, and Pat hardly has enough time for me.
Well, yeah, but I thought it would look good for you, too, you know, being the campaign manager and all.
What's missing from this picture, Patty?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll get it.
Wanda, Merle Jeter can have my life, but not my wife. Capiche?
Yeah, I capiche. Well, then I guess I'd better be on my way. I do want to enlist some women while I'm in the neighborhood.
Great. Terrific. And nice seeing you, Wanda.
Goodbye, Pat.
Bye, Wanda. Thanks. I'm glad you stopped by.
Sure.
What's this?
Well, that's your drink.
I know it's a drink, kiddo, but what is it?
What you usually have, scotch and soda.
Kiddo, nobody ever always has something.
Do you want something else?
Well, unless there's a law against it.
Well, what would you like?
Scotch and water.
I'll get it.
Thanks, kiddo. Have you started dinner?
Do you want to eat soon?
Well, that's the general idea behind the question, wasn't it?
Then I'll get it started.
Great. Thanks, kiddo. Pat,
Yes, dear.
is there a shortage of ice in this town?
Do you want some more?
Well, that's the general idea behind the question again, isn't it?
Well, there's plenty right there in the box.
Pat, unless I'm really mistaken, you said you'd make me a drink.
Well, yes, Garth, I did.
Right, a drink includes ice, doesn't it?
Yes.
If you're gonna do something, Patty, do it right.
Right.
Thanks, kiddo. Great. Now maybe you can concentrate on making dinner without popping in and out of the kitchen every 2 seconds, okay? Pat,
Yes, dear.
what's that pile of papers over there?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make a mess. I meant to clean that up.
Pat, that doesn't really answer my question, does it?
Well, it's just some writing.
It's just some writing. What particular sort of writing?
Oh, it's nothing, really. It's just something I've been working on.
Don't evade, Pat. Let's see if we can't get this conversation together. What particular sort of writing is it?
I'm trying to write a novel. Oh, please, I'm sorry. I'll stop
You?
if you want me to.
No, you are trying to write a book, a novel.
Well, I gotta get dinner
Oh,
started.
no, wait. No, dinner's already too late. What particular sort of novel are you trying to write?
Oh, you wouldn't be interested.
I wouldn't be interested. You know what? I think I'd be very interested. Let me take a look at it.
Oh, you wouldn't like it. I mean, it's not good.
Pat, I've had some education. You know, I've been to school. I think I can make up my own literary judgments. Oh, wow. Is this where your head is at, Patricia?
No.
What do you mean, no?
Well, I mean, yes and no. It's only fantasy.
Fantasy? Hell, this is sick. This is disgusting. His loins ache from pent-up juices of a lifetime. Whose loins ache, Patty?
Garth, please.
Answer my question!
You said that you would never raise your hands to me again, ever.
Our son is on his way home, and you are strewing pornography all over this house.
Well, I'll lock it up.
Oh, you'll do better than that, Patty. Much better. You'll tear it up.
What?
That's what I said. You will tear it up. And now.
Garth, I have worked so hard on this, and I have put my heart and soul into it, night after night.
I would not admit that in mixed company. A satisfied woman does not write trash like this. This is not only pornographic, but it's an affront to my manhood. Now tear it up, and now.
Garth.
Now, tear it.
I beg of you.
Tear it up now, Patty. Pat, if it isn't asking too much, could you go back in the kitchen and start dinner and get it finished this time without interrupting every 2 seconds for something else, since I am starving to death? Thanks, get up.
Come in, Charlie. Come in, come in. Well, 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 well. Charlie Haggers, I am so glad to meet you.
How do you do, Dr. Fracas?
Well, come on in. Sit down, sit down. Oh, don't worry about old Hamlet there. He won't hurt you. He's very friendly. You're going to feel very close to him in a little while, as I'm sure he's going to become attached to you.
Yes, he sure is big. Ain't you? You big. Well, when I was a kid, I was taught how to ride on a mule, which you could hide in the shadow of this dog.
I like big ones.
From the sound of it, you got a lot of dogs around here.
Yes, we have a few. But, Charlie, now, tell me, how was your trip?
Oh, well, it wasn't too good, Doctor. I mean, I guess I must be one of the few people in this world that shook all the way from one border of Pennsylvania to the other. I mean, I traveled all the way from Ohio across to New Jersey, shaking all the way like a sick hound dog in a cloudburst.
A little nervous, huh?
Yeah, well,
yes.
yeah, I guess I ain't never taken a trip before in which my manhood, which I got it shot away in a gunshot accident, was going to get transplanted back onto me. I guess that would make Evel Knievel nervous to jump over a door jam. Doctor, do you think it's going to work? I mean, do you think after the operation I'm going to work?
Well, we're soon going to find out, aren't we?
I don't know. I don't know if I take your meaning on we are going to find out, Doctor.
Well, now, Charlie, remember, on the telephone, I plainly said to you...
Do you know I spent $6.35 on the telephone?
As I started to say, I told you that this particular transplant procedure is still in its experimental stage.
You told me you flung this operation on a lot of folks and that they all were cured of what they had. I mean, what they didn't have.
Indeed. Indeed, Charlie. I have performed this particular procedure many times before, and successfully. But never on the highest form of the species.
Highest?
Man. Charlie, man.
Beg your pardon?
You are about to go down in medical history. This should make you very proud.
No, that the ad in the magazine, I got the impression that yours was a old established business.
Well, got to start somewhere.
Yeah, well, to tell you honest truth, Doctor. It wasn't my dream in life to be a guinea pig.
Charlie, I am absolutely certain that this particular operation will be a huge success. Now, I just got the test results back from the laboratory this morning, and I am happy to announce that you and the donor are completely compatible.
Oh, yeah, well, that's nice. I am compatible. I mean, I like most folks. I wouldn't want to pick a fight with somebody, a donor, who's going to donate something that I need so fierce bad.
That's the spirit, Charlie.
Doctor, there's a couple of things I just got to ask you.
Shoot.
First of all, you have never done this particular kind of operation on human-type beings before.
That's correct.
Only on animal folks. Is that right?
That's right, Charlie.
Well, that leads me directly to my next question, Doctor. Who are you going to get to donate the donation for my operation?
Well, I'm afraid that's confidential, Charlie. But I can assure you that you and the donor are compatible. Very compatible. And after all, Charlie, that is the most important thing, isn't it?
I swear I have not had this much fun since that 4th of July that Uncle Pooh put this whole gallon of corn liquor into the chicken foot stew.
Man, I have had some wild racing meets in my life, but I ain't never seen nothing to top this.
I'll tell you, you are some fierce, powerful race car driver, Jody. No kidding. I mean, Charlie told me that you was good before, but I didn't believe it like today till I saw it with my own pea-green eyes.
Well, now, Miss Haggers, I could say the same thing about you. I mean, I knew you had some great talent, but I had no idea you could lay out an entire crowd of people like you done. Charlie says you're going to be a superstar, and I believe him. I wish he could have been there to see it.
Loretta, I heard you drive up. You must have been going 100 miles an hour. Is there an emergency?
Oh, Mary, no. Gosh, you scared me for a minute there. No, we was just in a celebration-type mood,
Ah, I thought maybe you'd taken too much Phillips or something. Hi, Jody.
How do you do, Miss Hartman?
Hi. So what were you celebrating?
Oh, you should have been there this afternoon. Loretta was singing.
Just do one at a time, please, and very slowly.
Let me tell her about your singing.
All right, honey, but first I want to tell her how you won the race and everything. Mary.
Yeah.
He won the race today. Can you believe it? It was the most exciting, fabulous thing you've ever seen in all of your life. I mean, I tell you, I hooped and hollered so much I like to blow a gasket in the larynxes and everything. You cannot believe it. When that starting flag went down, he on that accelerator and just started going like a tear out. I'll tell you, it just about cleaned blew our eardrums out. Well, he took the first curve and he just downshifted just in time to go skidding around the bend, and well, it was like a greased pig on a slanty, icy roof, And remember that second curve he took? The second curve he took, there's this miserable red car. Well, I never did like the looks of that driver one iota, and suddenly he tries to butt in on his way on the road, but he's not going to give him 1/4 of an inch. No, ma'am. He doesn't. He just keeps right on going, and I'll tell you what, that car just winged itself right into a wall. That's what you get when you act like that, right? So anyway, he's now on the straightaway. He's all by himself in the straightaway, and there is not one other car in the entire state of Ohio that is going to catch up with him now. And sure enough, he comes across first champion winner. I ran down to that pit, and honey, my little goony legs ran as fast as I could possibly go and laid a kiss on him that some stranger, didn't know my fierce fidelities for Charlie or anything, would have sworn there's something else going on, which of course there is not.
Isn't that dangerous?
Well, if you don't know what you're doing, Mary, race car driving can be very dangerous.
I mean, rushing into somebody and kissing them. I mean, couldn't you loosen a molar?
Oh, no harm done, Miss Hartman. Now let me tell you about Loretta singing. I mean, I'm sure you're going to want to hear about this because she was the real hit of the afternoon.
Mary, you don't know what it's like when you're before thousands of live people. It just kind of sucks your talent out. Do you know what I mean? Of course, everybody in show business, it's a very common thing among all of us people, But which song do you think I sang best?
Oh, I think they're all fantastic. But Miss Hartman, the one she does the best is this country and rock and roll version. She's got of the uncolored. Chicken flavored ice cream blues.
The uncolored chicken-flavored ice cream blues is rock and roll? I always thought it was a golden oldie.
Oh, not the way Miss Haggers does it. Why don't you do it for her?
Mary, would you really like to hear me sing it?
Well, you must be awfully tired to be singing, after all that yelling and cheering. I used to do a lot of cheering. I know about it from Tom when he was in school and he used to play baseball and everything. I used to be there to cheer. And I used to find that afterwards I would always have to do a lot of gargling. And I can just tell you that the best thing to use is just, a glass of water with like a teaspoon of salt in it is the best way to gargle,
Mary, if you really want me to sing it for you, I'll just be delighted to sing it for you. I'll tell you what, you sit right down here in this chair and I'll just belt it out. Been holding out for better wages in the big payroll of love. Doom, doom, doom. Been flipped through the yellow pages by God and finger from above. And love's nasty knife is whipped a hole in your life, and it's power tower blue a fuse. I got a case of them uncolored chicken flavored ice cream blues. Boom, boom, boom. They're trying to tell you keep your feet on the ground, out of the sky or in the grave. Boom, boom, boom. They're trying to tell you keep your feet on the ground, out of the sky or in the grave. Boom, 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 boom. So keep them horse brains in your pocket, yeah. Take foolish temptation and hawk it. Oh, yes, and if it gets in your way, go on and sock it. You ain't got a thing to lose. Bop, 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 bop. Hey.
Have you ever heard anything like that?
No.
Tell me, has Charlie heard you do that?
Well, no, he hadn't heard. I'll tell you, Daryl Perkins, he used to be my piano player down there at the Capri. He wrote that song, and it's just kind of a new arrangement that I've been working up just these last couple of days. I'm really glad you liked it.
That's just a shame Charlie couldn't be here to hear you do that.
Well, I know, but
He couldn't be here.
yeah, he had to be in New Jersey for what we was talking about before,
There's another reason why he couldn't be here.
What do you mean, Mary?
Well, I just got some news about Charlie on the telephone.
You got about Char? Well, what's wrong? Is there an accident or something?
No, he's fine. He's fine. Really, he's all right.
Well, what's the deal, Mary?
It's just a little problem.
What is it?
Well, it's nothing. You don't have to be injured or hurt or anything to have it happen to you. It even happens to nice people, especially these days.
Mary, what is it?
He's in jail.
I have so many feelings going on right now. And we'll get back to the top because I feel like I'm going to need to process some stuff. But Pat is writing a novel at the start and gets a visit from Wanda, who wants her to join up with the Merle Jeters campaign. And first, I'll mention that Wanda continues to pretend like Merle has an interest in her sexually and wants that image of her to go forward, and that's a little disturbing, but not as disturbing as when Garth shows up. And it's clear that putting his foot down, putting both feet down, means something, although Patty has said that Garth will not lay another hand on her, meaning that he has laid a hand on her in the past, and that confirms stuff that we've been talking about in the comments for a little while, which was only speculation until now. He's definitely laid a hand on her, and at this point, he's at least not physically hurting her, but I feel like this is just a scene of abuse. He is so controlling of her, starting with the serving of the drink, moving on to when he actually takes a look at her pages and forces her to tear them up. I felt really sad for Patty. Not just that she put the work in, but that it was just so destroyed, and I think she needs an outlet, and she's gonna have to hide this thing if she wants to do it. I hope that she does. I really hope that she gets an outlet. I mean, I really hope that she gets out of this marriage, to be honest, but also she needs something that she doesn't have and that Garth won't let her have. Then we see Charlie in New Jersey with Dr. Fracas and Hamlet. Hamlet is such a sweet boy. We can see that Charlie feels like this is a suspicious activity that's going on. He is finally cluing into what we, the audience, have known about Dr. Fracas, that he is, well, we shouldn't be trusting Dr. Fracas so much. And it's not just the crooked glasses, but wow. Just watching Charlie's emotional reaction, considering how intent he was to come get this procedure done, well, watching that little bunch of emotions happen there was somewhere between terror and very amusing. And then Jody and Loretta come home just thrilled beyond belief at the race and at the performance. And Mary comes over, and I'm not sure what's going on with Mary. She just seemed really uncomfortable the whole time. And not that I don't get why she could be uncomfortable, I just wasn't sure why she was uncomfortable. Seeing Jody and Loretta together would be just a base root of why she's uncomfortable. Maybe, because I think she believes that Jody is trouble, and might be, considering that there was a celebratory kiss at the end of that race. She seemed like she was going through some kind of anxiety that wasn't just Jody and Loretta, but maybe I'm wrong, because she just wanted nothing to do during that song. She seemed to fall asleep during the song and was woken up by a phone call, and I'm not sure if that was just to accent that a phone call was there. You know, it was a little bit odd. I know that Loretta singing isn't necessarily Mary's favorite thing to sit through, but it was on the verge of being rude. However, there's a phone call, and Mary gets it while Loretta sings her jaunty little tune, and then we get the big news at the end of this episode. Charlie couldn't be home because he is in jail. So there's some unseen stuff that we will be seeing next week, I expect. Thank you so much for finding out today's cliffhanger. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and feelings down in the comments, because we love to stir it up. And thank you for watching. We will see you next week in Fernwood.